this. So, and this when I, it was a job to him. It was just a job, and he was just down there because he didn't take boxing serious because the way I'm in front of, I'm looking at him, look at me. I do stuff wrong so he can say something to me. He wouldn't say nothing. So then after he didn't. I was walking the line every day for maybe like a month, and I picked the bag gloves up. He didn't tell me to get on the bag gloves. I picked the gloves up. I didn't know if I was getting in trouble because I wasn't coming down the gym no more. I was done. I was quitting, and I threw a combination on the bag. And he said, "Who did that?" I didn't say nothing because I thought I was in trouble. He was who? He was aggressive. Who did that? Who did that? Like he was mad, and I was scared because I'm like, man, I'm going home anyway. So he pulled his chair up and sat down and said, "Do it again." I'm like, "Do what again?" He said, "What you just did. I don't know what you're talking about." He said, "Go, just walk, hit the bag." Then he asked me, "Where do I live at?" He took me home and brought me back. And he took me home and brought me to the gym every day, man.
Wow. 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 So Leonard, getting into the amateurs with Derrel, what are some of the things you've seen that you felt were his strong points? Was it his jab? We know Derrel had speed, power, a good chin. What were the things that you said, wow, man, I can take this kid to the next level? What was it you seen?
Jerry, a fighter, when you see a fighter dancing and moving a lot, you can't teach a fighter that. He has to have that. You see a lot of clumsy fighters, guys who press you and come forward. But Derrel had the ability to move around, and I noticed that about him. I was watching him and the way he moved around, and he had a real good jab.
Mm.
So just that little bit, we started working, and we started putting things together. But then we build a relationship, Jerry, not just boxing. We build a relationship because I used to take him to a few places, maybe to the movies, out to eat. But we did things together. We had a nice little crew down at Sea Pleasant Rec. I think out of all the fight, I think we had like 4 Golden Glove champions.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, and we had a dynamite team down there.
Yeah.
So it was about building trust and building that bond. Because
Right.
if these young men are going to trust you to teach them a sport like boxing, a sport you don't play, it's not like a team sport where if you didn't make practice or if you didn't work out as hard, some of your teammates can kind of cover for you. But in boxing, you're in that ring alone, and it's going to show if you don't put the work in. What was Derrel's work ethic like? And I want you to be honest, even though Derrel's here.
I'm going to be honest, Jerry.
Yeah.
I had fighters in there that could really fight, but they didn't take it serious. Derrel, like he would do everything that I tell him to do. And like I used to take him running every day. This kid can run. Believe me, he can run. That's
smart. No, Jerry, listen, Jerry. Yeah. He got me. I'm following him in a car, right? He forget that I follow him, and we way out 15 miles, almost 15 miles, man. And he started laughing because he remember I'm following him. He said, "Boy, you so stupid." Hey, Jerry, he called me stupid because I'm following. He said, "Oh man, I forgot you behind me." He said, "I'm man about 15 miles, man." That's crazy.
But he could run, Jerry. He had such speed. Hand speed. I used to take him around to different gyms and get work. I kind of like monitor him. I try to move him not slow, Jerry, but according to his ability.
Right.
And he picked up real quick. He started boxing guys in the gym, and he was shining in the gym. So from there, I just took him. Me and him together. We used to go around to different gyms and get the work in. And he would pick up, he would learn, he would pick up, but he was a very disciplined fighter.
Right. And natural ability. Seems like when you talk about his speed and his work ethic, he had that natural ability that you can't train in a fighter.
That's right, Jerry. And a lot of trainers might tell you that they taught this guy and taught this guy. No, you can't teach a guy how to move around the ring and dance. You can show him what angles to take, Jerry, but a fighter like Derrel who had hand speed. Sometimes you get a guy whose hand speeds is fast, but his foot are slow.
Right.
But Derrel had he could match his feet with his hands, and both of them was fast,
And it's funny you bring that up, because when I see boxers today and young fighters today, you don't see that foot movement. You don't see that.
You don't.
Everything's hitting the mitts, and it's not
Right.
It's not a tendency to train, the basics. Let me ask you. So what are some of the things you look forward to? You look for in a fighter when you see a fighter walk in the gym, maybe like Derrel and others. What are some of the things you're looking for and saying, you know what, I think this kid can be the next champion, or I can take this kid to the next level? What are some of the things you look for?
Well, Derrel would want to come to the gym every day. Then he'll get there, and I say, Derrel, I don't have to watch him. I mean, like, make sure he do this, make sure he do that. Derrel did everything I told him to do, and he pick up so quick, because Derrel, not only that he used to watch different fighters, he used to watch TV and watch different fighters. He was picking up along the way. Ray Leonard was his favorite fighter.
Yeah.
And I trained with Ray, so me and Ray was in the same gym together. So we was trained by the same coach, Dave Jacobs. So Derrel, I used to take Derrel over to the gym, and not just one place. I took him to a few other places where, when you be around other fighters, and especially when a fighter that is on another level than you, then you'll pick up. You can't stay on a level that fighters that below you. You got to go up and get better as you be around fighters that are real good. It makes you better.
Yeah, it makes you want to step up your game and work harder. Right. It's a good influence, and it's good to get around people that are going to make you better. You know what I mean? And I think
Derrel did that. I mean, he stayed around people, and then I started, easily putting him in a ring with different people and stuff. And this kid would spar anybody. If I put a gorilla in the ring, he'll spar.
Yeah.
No, hold on, Jerry.
Go ahead, Derrel.
Leonard, let me ask you this, Leonard. Why, like Jerry, listen, Jerry, James Quick Tillis, we in LA, California. James Quick Tillis fought Mike Tyson, right? So Leonard's about to let me box the guy. So I said, Leonard, who is that? Leonard said, nobody. So I went to the bathroom and I said, ask the guy, who is that? They said, that James Quick Tillis, he just fought Mike Tyson. I said, man, why did this man hate me so much?
So Derrel, he talks about Sugar Ray Leonard being your favorite fighter, and we talked about that in the past. But tell Leonard, and he might know already, but let our viewers know. And you can comment on the show if you got questions, and feel free to share the show. It's on all the boxing pages. Does he know the reason why you started boxing? Did you ever tell him the story?
No, I don't think, dude.
Tell him why you started boxing.
You might know, you've been around. You heard of Derrel Fletcher before, right?
Yeah, Derrel Fletcher, yes.
No. That was before. Eric Givens, my best friend, Eric Givens. Eric Givens got the same birthday as me, Leonard. We both May 23rd. He's 1 year older than me. So my brother, me and Eric best friends. I'm 6. He's 7. So Jeff looked out the window. No, Eric went home and said, I'll be right back. So Jeff looked out the window and said, Derrel, can you beat Eric? I said, what you mean, in running? He said, no, in fighting. I said, no, he older. I can't beat him. So he said, that don't mean nothing. So Jeff brought me up there, and when they got in front of Eric punched me in my face. I thought they were actually who can beat him fighting. I didn't care about fighting, Leonard. So when my brother walking back home from my brother, because I was crying because he hit me, Jeff said, you already know how Jeff used to be on me. Jeff said, my brother can't fight. 4 years after that, Leonard, I walked down to see Pleasant where you was at when I met you with Derrel Fletcher and Nene Boom.
Yeah.
And that's how it started in 1979.
Yep, 79.
That's how it started. Wow.
That's how it started.
Who was your brother's favorite fighter, Derrel?
Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah.
And he looked like him, and then
fight like him too.
Yeah, we fought just like him too. Yeah, Pernell Whitaker.
Did you ever want to fight Pernell Whitaker, Derrel?
Say it again.
You ever want to fight Pernell Whitaker?
Oh my God, Leonard. No,
all right, so Leonard, tell us the story if you know.
Leonard, did you know how bad I wanted to fight Pernell?
Yes, yeah, we wanted that fight bad.
The reason I wanted that fight so bad because that was my brother's favorite fighter, and it's in my weight class. Me and my brother together one day, Leonard, and somebody said, Derrel. I mean, then somebody said, Jeff, your man fighting tonight. What they gonna do? I'm number one, hey, Leonard. I'm number two in the world. I think number one or number two. And my brother said, you know, my man gonna do his thing. Can't nobody in the world beat him. It hurt me so bad, Leonard.
Yes.
I'm number two in the world. Jeff said, man, can't nobody in the world beat him.
Yes.
That's Pernell Whitaker. Oh, Leonard,
Why,
I was dead.
what were the reasons or the issues that fight never took place?
Well, I trained a couple fighters that Laduva had. You know, Reggie Green was one of the fighters that Laduva picked up. Purcell Miller, Ratman, Ruben Ratman Bell.
I was too.
So,
I was one of the fighters too.
So Laduva saw, you know, he saw Derrel's sparring one day, and he kind of liked Derrel, you know, and I think that really they didn't want that fight.
No,
you know, Pernell was to me a great fighter, but you got to remember something. He was a very technical fighter, and like guys that could press him. I mean, he like can train and fight guys that can press them all the time. But to have a guy with the hand speed of Derrel would give Pernell problems.
Yeah.
Would give him problems. And Pernell, you know, like Julio Chavez and all them guys was slow. You know, when you're a great boxer, you would love them type of opponents to come in for you because you can like box them and move. But if you got a guy just as fast as you, taller than you, good jabs, I mean, you know, it was a good fight for Pernell.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what were some of the rules when you started training Derrel? We're in the amateurs now. We're getting ready. You feel that he's going to go to the next level and be pro. What are some of the rules you had for Derrel? Did you have any rules?
Well, I used to keep an eye on him. I mean, you know, you can get so involved, like the nightlife, going out and all this. I try to keep a close eye on him. I used to try to go around his house. I used to try to make sure he's in at a certain time. We run it early in the morning. So, you know, then we had a place that we used to go. It's called a beach house. And we used to go down there and just stay. That way I'm around him all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Leonard, now, what's going on now? Are you training fighters now? What's your status in boxing now?
Well, Joe, I was working with a young kid. Well, not young kid, named Bieber Bowman. Very good fighter. And kind of like take off a little bit, but you know, I still go over to this gym over here called Julio's Gym in York, Pennsylvania, and I help out once in a while. But you know, I haven't gotten really back into it yet, Joe. I mean, Jerry.
Yeah, taking a little time to.
Yeah, well, you know, the right time might come. You know, I'll be back.
Yeah.
You know,
Are you looking for a Pacific fighter that you may spot and say, "Hey, you know what, this is the guy"? Because look, you don't want to pour all your energy, all your knowledge into a guy that you don't think is going to be committed as some of your other fighters were, and you just don't want to waste your time. Is that the reason? Are you waiting for the next guy to come through?
That's true, Jerry. Because you know, like you want a guy who's committed. When they're not committed, I mean, if you get a fighter that's committed, I mean, he's gonna give you 110%, Jerry. You got something.
Yeah.
You know, I never had to worry about this kid not making weight. I mean, we always made weight, and that's the key thing. I mean, I didn't have to worry about him not making weight. I didn't have to worry about him. I had to go pick him up to make him lose weight. I mean, he was always made weight, always, even from the amateur to the pros.
Hey, always. Jerry, we were this fight, man. The scales were wrong in the gym, right? So I'm saying to myself, there's no way I'm not fighting 47 no more. This is too hard to make this weight. Do you know the scale was wrong in the gym, man? And do you know when I weighed in like 143? Hey, Jerry, Jerry, I'm like, because I'm weighing in the gym at 147 before I go to the fight. And I'm like this, man, I can't make this weight no more, man. I'm never fighting this weight again. This is my last fight at this weight. I get to the real scale, I'm weighing 143, man. I said, wow.
Jerry, I got so mad at this kid when he got on the scale at 143. I said, what the heck you doing? I mean, you allowed, and I mean, I was mad because, you know, like we weigh in and we check our weights. But somehow this kid, man, I don't know how he got down to 43. I really, you know.
No, I wasn't at 40. I wasn't at 40. No, because the scale was wrong in the gym when we was training at, and I thought I was at 47 in that gym, but the scale was off.
Yeah,
the scale was off like 4 pounds. So when I got to the real scale, it showed the real weight. I was down at 43, man. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, I you know, so we're starting to gain momentum, right? We're all done with the amateurs. We're going into the pros. What were one of the fights that you felt maybe a little concerned that Derrel might not fear? Were any fights that you thought, hey, you know, this is a tough one, that may stick out in your mind?
Right, Jared, you're right. This is very it's profound what you just said. There was a fighter by the name of Derrel Lattimore, and they wanted Derrel to fight him. And I was like, well, now let's wait a little while. And everybody said, why not? Derrel can beat him. I said, but let's wait a while. Because, I mean, Lattimore was a tough fighter, you know, and I didn't think we need that right now. So I wanted Derrel to fight a little more fights. Then we go for him. So Derrel got a little upset. But then Derrel Lattimore fought Victor Davis. And he destroyed Victor Davis.
Wow.
And then I saw 2 more fights. And you know what I said? Let's get to Lattimore right now. Because I think Derrel was ready for Lattimore.
Leonard, no, I'm gonna tell you, Leonard, I'm gonna tell you what happened. I just came, you know, Jerry, when you fight, right, Jerry, and you take time off. I took like a week off or 2 weeks off, right? So this is my first day back in the gym. Derrel Lattimore didn't want to spot. They want to spot. They act like the next spot. Leonard said no. He haven't been in the gym. And I said, man, I'm not scared of Derrel Lattimore. We boxed. So I said, no, I'm gonna box. I'm not scared of him. So we boxed. He was in tip-top shape. He was in fight shape. We not in no shape at all. So we boxed. He win, but he don't beat me up. So there was a phone booth in the gym. So I'm the only one in the gym. So I'm in the ring, shadow boxing, the phone ring. Leonard go get the phone. Leonard say, no, we ain't ready for that fight. I'm like, who's that? Who they calling for a fight for Ray Leonard? Like, we not ready for Ray Leonard, but who else? So I said, Leonard, who was that? Leonard said, no, keep training. I said, Leonard, who's that, Leonard? Man, keep training. Leonard, who was it, Leonard? Man, tell me you fighting Derrel Lattimore. We ain't ready for that yet. I said, man, you don't call him back and take that fight. That man was in tip-top shape. I wasn't in no shape. He won the sparring match, but I knew he couldn't beat me. So we took the fight. I beat him.
Wow.
That phone booth.
You guys have that back and forth where you may have felt he wasn't ready, but Derrel felt he was ready. How did you handle those situations?
But
I think that was the only time.
It wasn't the point that he wasn't ready, but I just thought that this was a fight that we didn't need right now.
At that moment in time.
Yeah, moment in time. Lattimore was a tough fighter. I wanted Derrel to fight a few more tough guys like that, and then we would take on Lattimore. Because, I mean, even in that fight with Lattimore, Derrel eventually got him, but it was a tough fight.
Hey, Leonard, no, I didn't know that fight was tough until I watched it about a week ago. That fight was tough, Leonard. I didn't know that. I knocked him down twice, but
it was tough. And that's the reason why I said, let's wait.
Leonard, if I didn't watch that fight 2 weeks ago, and if you could say that just now, I was like, man, God beat Derrel Lattimore easy, man. No, I didn't. I didn't. It was a tough fight. I watched it 2 weeks ago.
Go ahead, Leonard. I'm sorry.
Before that, Derrel, you got to realize that he fought Victor.
He beat Victor, and Victor was good. He beat Victor easy.
Victor Davis was good, but he beat Victor. And I saw that fight. So I was like, no, we're going to wait a little bit on this, you know. So we waited, and it turned out, you know, we did the right thing. We did the right thing.
So waiting what was the reason for waiting? You wanted Derrel to gain more experience, or you just wanted?
You know, that was a tough fight. In the fights prior to that, we had some tough fights, but not like this. I knew this was going to be a war because Lattimore, only thing he know how to do is keep coming and punching. But I wanted Derrel in tip-top shape. I wanted him to have a little more because I figured Derrel could beat him anyway. But I just, you know, I didn't figure that we should go through that right now. I mean, you got to be very careful with the fighter you got. You know, you just don't just throw him in there just to be throwing him in there.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely thinking of his safety and his well-being, and I think that's important, and I think that's where that trust comes in between fighter and trainer. Go ahead, Derrel. Looked like you wanted to say something.
Leonard, I gotta say something. Leonard, hey, Jerry, how can you trust a guy that loves you like a son, but put you in there with heavyweights, light heavyweights, middleweight? Hey Jerry, I never. Hey Jerry, everybody I glove up with Jerry is they weigh 240, 50 pounds, man. But Leonard, have you ever seen me lose to a heavyweight?
Nope. And
Never,
Jerry,
sir.
the reason why I did that, sparring heavyweights, because I know that Derrel gonna be, he's gonna be cautious. He's not gonna go and like if you get a guy his size and his weight, Derrel take chances. But if you got a heavyweight in there with him, he's not gonna take no chances.
Right. Yeah.
Believe me, he's not gonna take no chances. And then when he gets in there, he got the speed. I know that the heavyweights can't touch him, and he's tall, so that's another thing. So, I put him in there with heavyweights, and he learned. But every heavyweight I put him in there, he destroys them.
Yeah, wow.
And see, that's good because, like when he was sparring guys his weight, Derrel take chances. He lays back. He get hit with shots that he ain't supposed to get hit with. So I said, no, we're not going to go this way. I'm going to put him in there with some heavyweights, knowing that he's going to keep his hands up. He's not going to stand still on them, unless it's Melvin Foster. But
I want to know what happened there. I want to know what happened there.
But I had him with heavyweights, and he did well. I mean, Corey Sanders, I trained, Jerry Ballard, all these guys Derrel worked with, Melvin Foster, and I put him in the heavyweights. They said, "What? Hey," because I know Derrel is not going to get hit by these guys. He's going to keep his hands up. He's not going to stand there and get lazy. He's going to keep moving, and this makes a guy sharp, makes him very sharp. And this is how we did it. When James Tillis threw about 4 punches at Derrel and they missed, it was time to take Derrel out the ring.
Yeah.
I said, that's all it did.
He missed me. He missed me by this much. He threw him hard, boy. Good God Almighty.
Because he would try to knock Derrel out. So I said, oh, no, this is it.
Right. And again, safety and concern of your fighter. So put him in the heavyweight, putting him in there with a heavyweight makes him move, makes him use his legs, makes him keep his hands up, makes him move his head. Absolutely. So it wasn't just putting him in there with a heavyweight to show how fast he was. There was a method to that, and there was a reason for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well said.
And look, and this is why I love you on the show, because getting a trainer's perspective of why they do certain things, because people see them like, oh, you put him in there with a heavyweight, he don't care. But there was a reason for it. We wanted him to use his legs. We wanted him to keep his hands up. We wanted him to think. We wanted him to be aware. And that becomes, you do it enough, and it doesn't become a habit. It becomes a reaction. So I think that on your part was really, really good.
And see, and it's like when you get he knows me so well. It's like I got a tendency when I get excited, I talk real fast, Jerry. And people just say, Derrel, you know what he's talking about? And Derrel laughed. Derrel said, I know what he wants.
No, Jerry, this is the thing. Jerry, this is the thing, Jerry. I don't even know if I hear him. I don't even try to understand what he's saying. I know what he wants. That's from the relationship that we got and the chemistry that we got. I never in my life said, huh? What'd you say? I don't care what he said. I know what he wants. And if I know what he wants, I'm gonna go give it to him. Hey, listen, let me Jerry, I can be in the biggest fight of my life. I'm talking about in the biggest fight, the biggest arena for everything. Watch this. If I get hurt by a punch, Leonard, and I come to the corner, who name you gonna call?
Oh man.
If I get hurt by a punch, and I come back to the corner, what's the first name you call say to me?
Jerry, I know
I can't believe. It's been long. Jerry, I don't care if I'm fighting King Kong, and if I get hurt, and I come back to that corner, he's not going to say nothing but the word Aaron.
Yeah, right.
He's going to say Aaron.
Aaron Evans.
Aaron Evans. He's going to say Aaron, and I never, and it wasn't strange to me because he knew Aaron is a guy that I respect and I look up to tremendously. And this is what he's saying. Derrel, Aaron, lets me know, Derrel, get yourself together. We're not losing this fight. Aaron is watching. Aaron is here. He putting Aaron inside of me. That's how tough Aaron was as a fighter. Jerry, Jerry, I can be fighting Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, he hit me with a good shot. I come back to the corner. Leonard's gonna say, Derrel, earn, and it means everything to me.
And you know, it says a lot because you said, and Leonard said himself. So when he gets excited, he speaks fast, right? And people were like, Derrel, did you hear what he said? And you said, no, I don't need to hear what he said because I know what he wants.
Yeah.
So Leonard set a standard where you knew each other's moves, right? And that comes with that earlier years of going to the movies and doing things and building that bond and building that relationship. This is where it all plays out, right? So, and he knows what motivates you, right? He knows how to get you going, and he knows what motivates you. He knows how to not. He didn't have to grab you and shake you. He just had to say one word, and you knew what it meant because Leonard set a standard, and he knew how to motivate you. Go ahead, Leonard.
Jerry, you know, Aaron Evans was a tough little fighter, and he don't give up. Derrel used to beat him so bad, and he used to say, "One more round, one more round, one more round."
No. Let me explain it, Leonard. I box for Aaron, Jerry. He's an older guy. I look up to him. So what happens is I'm making sure I keep things even because I don't want to disrespect him. That's my man. So when like Leonard would say 6 rounds, we do 6 rounds, and by me keeping it even and good, he feel like he did something. So he'll say one more round. I say, now we're not going no more. Leonard is laughing because Leonard knew what's gonna happen next round. The only time that I ever get out on Aaron is when he called one more round. Wow. I'm always gonna win that round. Because Leonard knows that. Am I lying, Leonard?
Yes, that's right. And that motivates him because I say Aaron because you know he won another round. So every time I say Aaron, Derrel, he pulls it up. He gets back and he's throwing a lot of punches, a lot of combinations, trying to get this guy out of there. So when I say Aaron, it motivates him.
I remember the last time I boxed for him. Him and Mingo, Leonard. You don't know this now. Let me get this out of the way, Jerry. When we used to jog, we used to go jogging, right? We used to take us on the track, Leonard. We used to go jogging. I'm a kid. Mingo will say this to me. If I catch you, you better not let me catch you. If I catch you, you gotta do 2 more laps. And he will run past me. And he said, Derrel, you better not let me catch you. And I'm running so to the finish line so he won't catch me. And every time I jog, I can do 15 miles. And if I get tired, I'm always thinking Mingo is behind me. That's why I don't never give up.
It's great that you had those type of things that would motivate you, that you could think of. Leonard, I'm looking at a picture here. Tell me about this event right here. Can you see the picture that's up?
Yes.
Tell me about that picture.
That's the Hall of Fame awards for both my fighters, Reggie Green and Derrel Corley. And they received the reward in Maryland.
What?
The Hall of Fame in Maryland.
The look on your face, you're so proud. How were you feeling knowing that you played a huge part in these gentlemen's career and they are now in the Boxing Hall of Fame? What were your emotions? What were you feeling like? Tell me about how you felt.
Right, both fighters was very dedicated fighters. Both fighters, Reggie Green and Derrel, good fighters, dedicated fighters, trained hard, always made weight. You would love to have a fighter like that, Jerry. Someone that you can say, Derrel, I don't have to be with you all the time, but I know you're going to run. I don't have to be with you. I know that you're going to eat the right things. It makes your job so easy. But if you got a fighter that you got to always be around, you got to make sure he do this, Jerry, you don't need that. Yeah. So, I'm grateful to have certain fighters like Derrel and Reggie and Joppy. I'm so glad that I had fighters that was very dedicated.
Yeah, and I think they respect you so much, and Derrel, saying a father figure, and I think and I think that's why, and Derrel may disagree, and it's fine, but I think that's why he was so successful because he had that person in his career that knew how to motivate, knew what buttons to push. Like you can have a trainer, you can have any trainer, but when you got that father figure, that person that knows what buttons to push, how to motivate you, and how to get you to believe in the process and get to the next level, man, that says a lot about you, Leonard.
let me say this. Let me say, hold on, let me say this. You could put Emmanuel Stewart, Angelo Dundee, and Teddy Atlas in my corner. They couldn't motivate me like this man. It's nothing. It's nothing. Them three could have been in my corner, and it wouldn't have done nothing for me. This man right here was everything. Everything. His voice. I don't care what he said. I knew what he meant. And people listen to what he say. I listen to what he mean and what he want. It's a difference. It's a difference, man.
Wow.
It's a difference.
Wow. We had a fight, and the guy was like, I mean, he could have been undefeated, but it was an easy fight for Derrel. And Derrel wanted to get some rounds in. I said, Derrel, are you crazy? Get this man out of here.
No. Leonard, you always know you tell the stories wrong. Let me tell you why. It was a guy from Cuba. No, he's 20. Hey, Jerry, he's 20-0 with 18 knockouts, but nobody on his resume it was familiar with. I'm like 33-1, something like that. So it's nobody on his resume was good. This is what Leonard said. Leonard said, Derrel, we haven't fought in a while. We need some rounds. It was a 10-rounder. We need some rounds, Derrel. So go out there. So Jerry, I go out there, Jerry. His first punch was a jab. I blocked it like this. He almost broke my hand, Jerry. Jerry, listen. I knocked him out like the second or third round. Leonard's yelling at me, man, I told you we need some rounds. What are you doing? I said, you get out there with him. I'm like, Jerry, the man hit so hard. He never hit me because if he would have hit me, he'd have knocked me out cold, man. That man hit hard, man.
So that goes to show you may not know anybody on his resume, and they may not be the greatest man, but all it does is take that one punch. You know what I mean?
Right. That's it. Right.
You know, you never go by, the person's record or who he fought and this, that, and the other thing. So, Leonard, let me ask you. So the big fights are starting to roll in. What ones were the biggest fights that you were concerned about? Now, just talk to me about some of the big fights.
But you know what?
Oscar De La Hoya. What?
Ray
Do you
Lovato,
think that was his biggest fight? Was that his biggest fight in his career? Was Oscar De La Hoya? Do you feel that way?
Yes, it was his biggest fight.
Yeah.
It was his biggest fight. His biggest fight. We had a few more. Terrence Ali was a great fight. I mean, Terrence had come off of 3 straight wins. He beat Victor Davis. He beat Derrel Tyson. I mean, he came to DC and like, I beat all 3 of the Derrels. Now I'm gonna beat the next Derrel Corley. So it was a tough fight. I mean, but you saw Derrel. It was a tough fight for Derrel, but you saw towards the end that Darrell's gonna pick it up, and I knew it. I mean, the 6th and 7th round, Darrell's gonna pick it up. He don't want to lose, Jerry.
No, hey, Jerry, let me say this, Jerry. Leonard want to be a genius, right? I'm gonna tell you what happened. I figured it out, right?
Here we go.
No. He knows when Teddy Atlas, whoever, Sean O'Grady, them gonna come in the corner. It always like the 6th or 7th round, right? So Leonard's like, Derrel, look, man, you winning the fight. Take these rounds off. And because I don't want you to go in the late round tired, don't have nothing left. I'm like, I call you the one like the first 4 or 5 rounds. They'll take these rounds off. So he tells me to take the rounds off. And Sean O'Grady comes in the corner and they're like, well, Leonard, when are you gonna pick it up? He said, next round. I get it. Hey, look, I get in the corner.
Sean O'Grady, that was like Tuesday night fights, right?
Yeah, Tuesday night fight.
So like you come to the corner and talk with the trainer, like, hey, okay, I got you.
So he say, Leonard, when are you gonna pick it up? Leonard, next round. So when I get in the corner, hey, Derrel, come on now, no more job. Let's pick it up this round. So he want to be a genius.
Great memories. It's great to see you guys together now and talk and have such great memories and great friendship and still have that bond. It's exciting, and I think that's what's missing today in boxing is do trainers take the time to actually understand and get to know their fighters, or is it that they got so many fighters that they don't have enough time to have that one-on-one like you had with Derrel?
Yeah, that is true, Jerry. That is really true. I had a lot of fighters. We had a gym where at least we had about 4 or 5 great fighters in the gym. But I gave Derrel his time. A lot of fighters thought that I was too much on Derrel, and did too much for Derrel, but it wasn't the reason. I knew Derrel since he was 9 years old, so it made a difference.
Yeah.
And I knew everything about this kid. I know what he eats, what he likes. I mean, I took it to the point that I want to know everything about him, and I did. I mean, I knew what made him smile, what made him laugh, what made him cry. I knew that Lil Edwards was his toughest opponent. The reason why I said Lil Edwards.
Leonard, you don't listen. As I look at the fights now, Leonard, they were trying to give me. Burry was trying to get me beat. I'm gonna tell you why. Because with Rocky Balboa, Rocky Balboa said he was training for me for 9 months. They called me 1 week ahead of time. Rocky Balboa had 60 wins, 15 losses with 54 knockouts, and was training for me for 4 or 5 months. And I got noticed because I was training for this other guy. They say he broke his hand, he can't fight. They brought Rocky Balboa in 1 week before the fight, and they never gave me a tape on the guy. I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know if it was black, white, Chinese, anything. And they gave me a fight in Leonard. And I'm like, this man 60 wins, 15 losses with 54 knockouts. How y'all let me fight this guy, Leonard? Of course I'm a fight, but Leonard, y'all, you supposed to pull me out. It's for my belt too. And then Leonard with Willie Wise, Leonard. Willie Wise came in at 154 pounds, couldn't be over 147. They gave him 2 hours to make weight. Jerry, I don't eat nothing. I'm 146. I don't eat nothing. When they come back with Willie Wise, he got the same clothes on, the same drawers, and he ashy. That lets me know he didn't work out. Yeah, they had another scale that wasn't even the same scale. And I said, let me get on the scale. Let me check the weight. Let me check my weight. There, you get on the scale, you did get disqualified. They was dogging me. And I was the champion. And I still beat Willie Wise, but it bothered me, man. I'm like, come on, man, they dogging me. Leonard.
And I understand how you feel about that, but the world of boxing can be funky like that. Can be
That's right, Jerry. That's right.
And it happens. The politics of boxing, the business of boxing, and so look. And I get how you feel. And
Jerry, my management was the promoters. They was giving a fight. Yeah. That's what I don't understand. Yeah. They was giving a fight. Leonard, that was Burry Lindy management giving a fight.
That's
and
true.
They still don't. Yeah.
That's true.
They trying to get me beat.
So and when you talk about you knew what he thought, you knew what he ate, and I think that's what helps in a corner. Let me ask you: Did Derrel always listen to you guys in a corner in a fight when he was in a tough moment? Because look, what makes the greats is when something happens in a ring that you didn't train for, you didn't expect, right? And now you got to make adjustments. Go ahead, Leonard. You were going to say something.
That is so true. What you just said. We fought Kim Diggs. And Derrel got knocked down a couple of times, but we had to make adjustments. I mean, both of us talked. I mean, I just don't just talk. I asked Derrel what he thinks. We discuss it. That minute and a half, we discuss it. Then we saw, and I said, Derrel, what do you think? And he'll say what he think, and I said, Derrel, let's try this, let's try that. But we had to come up with something because, Kim Diggs knocked him down twice.
Three times.
3 times.
But no, check this out, Jerry. Check this out. It was the word the. Leonard said, Derrel, he goes to the left and throw the left hook. So Leonard, he knocked me that. So Leonard said, Derrel, what are you doing? He's doing this. I said, Leonard, he's not doing what you said. He's not doing it. Derrel, that's all he's doing. That's all he's doing. And I'm like, Leonard, man, let me just fight. Let me fight this guy. He was not going to and I'm listening. When you say, do I listen to him? I'm listening to him, knowing I don't see it. And I'm still getting knocked down. I'm like, Leonard, it's not work because I'm still trying to do what he's telling me to do. But he was not. But I don't know what left. The left, Jerry. If I'm looking at you, you're looking at me. You talking about his left or you talking about my left? There's 2 different lefts. Yeah, and he never explained that. Yeah. He never explained it, so I never knew.
Yeah.
So we made adjustments, and we got him out of there.
And that's what transcends you to that next level, and what makes you different than all the rest, right? Is when you run into that adversity in a ring and you
Right.
work it out and you win, and that's what makes you great. That's what makes you great. Those are the most important things that make you the fighter you want to be. What are some of the things you would tell Derrel before a fight to kind of motivate him or maybe calm him down? Was he one of those guys where you had to say, "Hey, here we go"? You know,
No. Derrel is so relaxed. Confident level. We trained hard. He knew that we trained hard. It's good when you have a good training camp and you did the things you're supposed to do. I mean, we studied tapes. I studied tapes, and we like the Overcar fight. We knew that Over loved to throw 3 hooks. He couldn't hit Derrel with 1 hook.
Yeah.
I mean, we trained for Overcar. I mean, the fight. I mean, we won the fight, and they call it a draw.
Yeah,
No, they won. No, they beat him. He beat me.
Yeah,
That's one of my losses.
you won that fight. You got robbed. You got robbed. I seen that fight.
And that bothered me so much because I went against my mentor. Dave Jacob was in Overcar's corner.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so
then,
I'm going against my teacher. But I knew that we could beat Overcar. And you saw Derrel outbox this man. Even the judges thought we won. I don't know what happened after the decision was called, but we were told that we won that fight.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen me scared?
No.
Did that worry you? Did that concern you that he was never scared? Because that could be dangerous.
Well, Derrel never took his opponent's light. So that if you say he's scared or whatever, but he worried about, he never took nobody light. So when he got in there, he wouldn't take care of business, but he didn't go out there to get hit or nothing like that. Derrel, it's very hard to hit Derrel. Derrel got a lot of skills. He uses shoulders. He rolls. He slips. I mean, he was the package.
Absolutely. And that Overcar fight, I thought he looked more like Sugar Ray Leonard than.
And you know what? Being around Ray so long, I learned a lot from Jake. So Derrel similar. Ray called me after that fight and told me that Derrel looked good that fight.
Yeah. What did that make you feel, Derrel, when Sugar Ray Leonard calling your trainer saying you look good?
Well, I mean, I appreciate it, but I would appreciate the win.
Better,
you know what I'm saying?
You can't. The judges' cards. I mean, Don even told us in private, Derrel.
Don, no, that wasn't Don. That was Mike Tyson. No, Don King told us. No, Don told us. He said you did what he said. You sleep. You in the bed with the white man or something like. What did he say?
Yeah, he said you want to be the white man. You see what I can do to you.
Yeah. That's what he said. He told me that to his face.
Yeah.
Told me that to my face. It was
and that's tough, man. That you train so hard, and like you said, you're going up against absolutely straight robbery. I seen that fight, and
it was no way
he won that fight all day.
Yeah,
absolutely. But what at the end of the day is you put so much effort and so much study and so much work, and you're prepared for this, and and when you actually get into the fight and you're seeing the hard work paying off, he's landing punches, he's moving, he's using that jab, he's slipping. You got this. You're feeling good, and then it's all taken away from you. That hurt. It's gotta hurt.
That could have been a down. I mean, Derrel started acting different after that fight. To be robbed, he put everything into this fight. I mean, really, everything. We trained hard. We did everything, the right things. Just to get into the ring to lose by a pencil.
And you know what was wrong with me, Leonard, after that fight? I said to me, it's not up to me. Why am I training so hard when it's not up to me? Well, why do I gotta knock everybody out to win and they don't have to knock me out to win? It's not fair.
Seems like it's Derrel. It seems when you say that, if I could let it seems when you say that, like, why do I got to train so hard? I'm getting these fights and I'm getting robbed. So why am I training? It seemed like you were getting frustrated and you were like, just losing interest. Like, why am I training so hard? Why am I doing everything I'm supposed to do, and I'm getting screwed?
Yeah.
Look, Jerry. Look. Every time I come back to the corner with Overcar, I want to fight over. So I want to sit there and fight over because I'm not scared of Over. I'm not scared. Derrel, I want you moving. Well, what we worked in the gym? What we working in the gym? I want you moving. And I'm rolling my eye like, man, leave me alone. Let me fight this dude. I want to fight this. Hey,
You
but
were
boy, I
mad.
gotta listen to what he say. I gotta listen to what he say. So I'm moving, but I want to fight him so bad because I'm like, man, I'm not scared of this guy, man. And then again, man, I want you moving. I want you moving. Yes. You see.
So let me ask, because we only got a little bit of time, and I want to get into some other things. Best memory, best performance, best fight you and Derrel had together.
Let me go first. Then you go second. I like the Pat Coleman fight. That was, that was my sharpest. Pat Coleman hit me going to the after the bell. Ended up rolled my shoulder to go back to the corner and turned him in the back of the head. They stopped the fight, but they stopped the fight. It didn't count as a loss because he was on drugs. He was on steroids and drugs, but it didn't count. But I think that was my best performance. That's what I think.
Lennon?
I agree. That was a great. I mean, he won every round. You know, but he always talk about taking a fight and winning every round.
Mm-hmm.
And this is exactly what he did. I mean, even the announcer said, how great he looked. I mean, he won every round.
Yeah.
So I think that could have been our best fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Lennon, if you're in these gyms now that you go to and help out, another Derrel Too Sweet Coley comes in, are you going all in with him? Am I putting you on the spot? So we're in the gym and we see this kid and you're like, wow, he's committed, he's hitting, he's got power, he's got speed, he's got a chin, he reminds me so much of Derrel. Are you saying to yourself, you know what?
That
I'm going to be there again.
Yeah, well, Jerry, that has to be. I have to.
The stars have to align perfectly.
I have to really commit to it. When you commit to something, you gotta go all the way. And right now, I'm not in the mood to commit to anything.
Wow.
I'm older now. Kind of enjoying my life, serving the Lord. So I don't know. I'm not saying. I mean, to find a guy like Derrel, I don't know. I don't know.
Probably not. Probably not.
No, because
but we're not retiring from the world of boxing. We're not. We're going to leave that door open and hopefully.
I'll probably be back, Jerry. Roger Leonard texted me and told me why should I stop training fighters. So it all depends. It all depends. Right now, I'm not even watching boxing. Now I watch the younger fighters. Now I watch what's going on in the gyms. I keep on top of on different fighters, but I tell you something. I watch like Tank. I watch. I like the Peterson brothers. I used to bring a guy named James Baker to spar them guys, and I like the way they had a relationship with their ex-trainer Barry. He was a kind of fighter, trying to trainer that gave his heart to his fighters.
Yeah.
So a fighter can't get to the point where he started listening to voices on the outside of the ring. And that's the biggest problem the fighters had today. They started, forget the guy who brought him there. They started listening to people on the outside of the ring. Next thing you know, it's chaos.
Do you think social media plays a lot of part in that?
Yes, I think, Jerry. I think so. I think so.
What do you think? And being a great trainer as you were, what do you think? And I watch a lot of boxing now, and I'll be watching the Tank Davis fight this weekend and Andrade fight. And what do you think is missing today in the sport of boxing versus the way it was? Are they not fighting enough? Are these champions? Are the best not fighting the best? Like Derrel wasn't afraid to fight anybody. Is it because of greedy promoters? Is it because we don't want to lose we don't want to have that loss on our record? What is it today? That you feel, in your opinion, is missing?
I think money is the biggest thing. The avenue of money. Fighting like Crawford wants to fight. It's money to promoters. If they're not getting the big piece out of the pie, the fight's not going to happen. Even though the two fighters want to get together, during the time when Ray Leonard fought Roberto Duran, Marvin Hagler, who fought the best?
Yeah.
What happened to fighting the best? You're ducking, you're dodging. You're just making your money and being happy, but you haven't proved that you're the best yet.
And the thing is I think we're losing fans and the sport's losing a lot
I
of its
agree.
mojo because we're not having the fighters fight the best. You know what I mean? And but is it up to the fighters to tell their promoter or their manager, no, I want this fight. This fight's gonna happen.
Do you think they got the courage to do that, Jerry?
No, yeah.
No, I don't think so either.
Go ahead, Darrell.
You know, Derrel now, you know, but if you say, well, I'm going to fight anyway, you know, or I want to fight, you know, you might reconsider and take the fight, you know, but why are you afraid? I mean, if you call yourself the best, you fight the best.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No.
Leonard, I want your honest opinion. How do this sparring match go? Derrel Cody versus Sugar Ray Leonard. We had a win. I'm at my best.
In your primes?
In my primes, yeah.
Okay. I used to spar Ray Leonard. Okay. Ray could punch. A lot of people used to think that Ray couldn't punch. You know, he caught me with a shot one time and he had me out. And I told Ray, I said, I'm gonna tell you had me hurt, but I'm not gonna tell you what round you hurt me in. I'm not gonna give you that. But Ray could punch. Derrel and Ray, you know, that's be a very good fight.
Yeah.
But you know, I couldn't pick. I would say pick them.
Yeah. That's one that I wouldn't pick. I just sit back and enjoy the show.
Now, I believe Derrel would have beat Trinidad. Because, I mean, if I watch a fighter and I say to Derrel had me go one time to watch this guy fight.
Keith Holmes.
And when I watched him.
Keith Holmes. Go ahead.
When I watched him, you know, I say, well, Derrel, you know, I left. Derrel said, what's wrong?
No. Let me say, when he comes in, he watched one round. Then the middle of the second round, he walks out. Leonard, what are you doing, man? I'm gonna have to fight this guy. He waved his hand. But he can't beat you. I seen enough. He can't beat you. Am I lying, Leonard?
Yeah.
He said, no, he can't beat you. I'm like, Leonard, come on, man. This man knocking everybody out. Come on, man. What you think? Leonard watched 1 round and a half and left and said, that boy can't beat you. I'm gone.
That's how well he knew you, Darrell.
Right. And there was another guy that Ray Leonard used to manage. What was his name? Michael Ward. And they all came to the night that they fought. Ray Leonard, Roger Leonard.
Yeah, everybody came.
All of them came to watch this guy fight. And I turned to Ray. I said, Ray, he can't win this fight, Ray. Ray said, what? I said, he can't win this fight.
And doing that,
I know both fighters.
He sparring with Ray Leonard to get ready for me. He's knocking Ray Leonard down. He's knocking him down. I'm talking about in sparring matches. He was good.
He was good. But we beat him easy. It was an easy win.
Beat him.
Yeah. Wow, it's great, man. It's great. It's great. You know, and let me ask you this. I don't know if you're familiar with the names Jake Paul and Logan Paul.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I love it because I'm going to ask you this question. I'm not a fan of theirs. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't, and I know Jake Paul was supposed to have a fight with Hakeem Rockman Jr. and that didn't happen.
He called it off.
Huh?
He called that off.
Yeah. I heard Bernard Hopkins on an interview saying that, you know, when they just couldn't sell the tickets. And from what Bernard said is the shit show is over. People don't want to see this type of stuff. You know, maybe when we were in the height of COVID and we were locked down and we were looking for any type of entertainment to watch, that it would happen. You know what I mean? And that's why he was successful. But let me ask you, how successful you think Jake Paul would be with some of these new fighters that we're seeing today if he were to fight someone that's real? Because I think he's just a YouTuber. I don't think he's a boxer.
Yeah, well, I watched one of his fights. One thing, there's no skill. He punches. He got a little punch with him.
No pop, yeah.
Yeah, but the guys that he's fighting with, they keep him away from punchers. It's easy to fight somebody that can't punch.
Yeah.
You know, you got fighters and you set a fight with them, but you don't want a puncher. You want a guy that, you know, who's not a puncher, maybe got 3-4 knockouts out of 20 fights.
Yeah.
Them the kind of fights you take. because he can't knock you out.
Right.
But you're not gonna get in there with a guy who's 20 and over 20 knockouts. No way.
Well, why you put me in the guy? Why you let me get in there with a guy 20 or 20 wins and no
because
loss?
Cowboy could beat you, Derrel.
Yeah. So before we end it, I got one more question. If there was a fight that you would have liked to see happen with Derrel, what fight would it have been? Or you can answer that, or you can answer if there was a fight you could do again, what fight would it be and what would you do different?
Oscar De La Hoya. I think that I would have kept a more closer eye. Like Derrel, his family comes up to Madison Square Garden, and things were going on. Derrel was getting upset about, I don't know the circumstance of the story, but Derrel was getting a little upset with the family. People begging for tickets. And if I had to do it all over again, he wouldn't have been at that hotel. I would have hid Derrel at another hotel.
Yeah.
He had so much going on in his mind. I mean, arguing with his family. It's like
Jerry. My two sisters worked at the post office. One was there for 23 years. The other one was there for 18 years. They calling me. Get what they say? They got my mother with them, right? They saying, Derrel, it's like maybe like 3 days before the fight. Derrel, mom is hungry. Well, won't you feed? That's your mother. What are you calling me? What are you calling me for?
Yeah.
That's your mother.
I understand that. So that would be the circumstance. You would hide him more and try to get his mind to be focused on the fight. And you feel it would have made a difference.
Let me tell you something, Jerry. I think that De La Hoya should have been an easy fight for us. I studied De La Hoya. The things that Derrel did correctly, De La Hoya's weakness. Derrel was too fast for De La Hoya. You saw in the second round, he caught him with a right hand.
Yeah.
That was the fourth round.
The fourth round. And I just thought that we could beat De La Hoya. I mean, we had some tough sparring partners in camp where that they didn't even want to spar Derrel after a while because Derrel was the guys were saying, well, I think we need to take a break, because Derrel was that sharp, Jerry. He was sharp. But when we got to New York, I think it was a bad mistake. I think we should have stayed
Jerry. Hold on, Leonard. Jerry, it was everywhere, and they made us come early.
Yeah, early.
Do you know from New York to New Jersey, they was charging us like $10,000 a day, or they was making some ridiculous amount, like $1,000 a day to train, just so I wouldn't have nowhere to train. So for the last 2 weeks, I didn't have nowhere to train. I'm in the hotel hitting the mitts and jumping rope. That's all I can do. Then I couldn't go jogging because it was wintertime. You know what I'm saying? So I was running a treadmill, but they dogged me.
Leonard, Mr. Langley, thank you so much for coming on a Neutral Corner. It was an honor. It was a pleasure to talk to you and get to know you a little bit and talk about your training and your stories and your history with Derrel. And I think Derrel called me and said, I asked him, I says, what do you think? What do you think, of talking with your trainer and stuff and reaching out and let's hear his story. He was like, yeah, let's do it. He gave me the information. I said, give me his number. I'll reach out. And when I called you and talked to you, man, you called me back and you were all for it. I think it's great. I really do. And I want to thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Jerry.
No, I'd love to have you on again. And here's the fight right here. Check this out. Can you see it?
Yep.
Look how big he is, Jerry. This man, he never made weight, man. Look how big he is. He never made weight.
Yeah. Do you feel he was a little overweight, Leonard?
Yeah, he was overweight, Jerry. Let me say this. He wouldn't get back on the scale, Jerry. We asked him to get back on the scale. De La Hoya said, well, if I got to get back on scale, the fight is over. It's through.
Wow. Yeah, what does that tell you right there, I love Derrel's movement here. I love the way he moves side to side.
Let me tell you something, Jerry.
Jab more here.
Yeah, but, and when De La Hoya caught him with his best shot and Derrel didn't budge, I knew that we had this fight won.
Yeah.
He caught Derrel with a left hook and Derrel didn't budge.
Yeah, I like it. I
Yeah, Derrel playing with him. See, De La
yeah,
Hoya,
talk to me. I'll listen. Go ahead, talk to me. We're seeing
look
this
at De La
problem.
Hoya. Look at his legs. I mean,
I didn't get no sleep. I didn't get no sleep the night before because of the weigh-in, and they cheated me. And I was in bed around about 8 or 9 o'clock, but I never went to sleep. I never went to sleep probably till like I might get about 2 hours of sleep. But I ain't making no excuses. But the man beat me. But I definitely. And Leonard, remember the guy that was in the gym? Oscar told me that was a spy. Remember the guy that I was fussing with? Man, why y'all letting this guy in the gym? You remember what I'm talking about? The white guy, the white old guy. Everything he won't look at me. Leonard.
Hang on, you see him spit his mouthpiece out.
He was tired, Jerry. But you know what? But Jerry, Derrel didn't eat at all in New York.
No, I didn't. I didn't eat nothing. No, I ain't eat nothing. No.
And that got me so mad. I mean, like he wouldn't eat. He wasn't hungry.
Yeah.
You think that hurt him a little bit?
Well, look, the night of the fight, he weighed in at what, 146?
Yeah, I was like 45 and a half.
Yeah, and then at nighttime, he was what, 147?
Yeah.
At fight time.
Yeah, that was fight time.
But he didn't put no weight on, so that worried me. I thought he was eating.
Right.
Yeah.
He would go downstairs and the meal was there, but he wasn't eating.
Yeah. Wow. Great story. Leonard, would you be willing to come on again one time and just maybe talk about the Gervonta Davis fight that's coming up? Maybe we can break it down with Derrel and have a little bit of a conversation if you got the time.
Okay, sounds good, Jerry.
All right, we'll be in touch. Again, legendary trainer, Leonard Langley, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. It's a great show. Thank you again. And we're going to have you on again, man. You said you wouldn't mind, so we're going to have you on again.
Hey, okay. Leonard, listen, before you go, I want you to take this to bed with you, man. I love you way more than Jerry. Jerry get on my nerve.
Hey, Jerry, Derrel Corley versus Leonard Langley.
Let me answer.
No, that question was to me. I'll tell you what. I think, and I'm going to be honest here. Derrel and I have become really close friends, really good friends. I know you had a short boxing career, but I think you would have hit harder, and I think you would have broke him down, go to his body. He may be a little taller. I think you would have went to his body, broke him down a little bit, bend him down, bring him to your size. You would have went up top. I think the body shots would have slowed him down a little bit, and I think you would have got to him and beat him.
Jerry, I sparred him one time, and I gave him a headache.
No. Let me say this. Jerry, just because you said that, we bringing Blaze on, and you getting him off it next week. Hey, Blaze, come on. Hey, Blaze, come on, Blaze.
What's going on in here now?
Man. He just said Leonard Langley will beat me, man. The man told me everything I know. So but it's versus.
Listen. This is how it's gonna go. The champ is so too sweet, right?
Right.
The champ be sucking on a candy cane and be hitting Leonard like this.
Listen.
There you go.
Hey, Jerry.
You know what I mean? That's how too sweet the champ is.
That's right. That's how we do it.
If Derrel thinks that way, then he better wake up and apologize to himself.
What Rocky say? You may be a great fighter, but I fight great or something like that.
Yeah.
I think, Leonard, I think you would have got them. Again, have a great night. God bless. Thank you so much for coming on.
Leonard, I love you, man.
Okay, I'll talk to you later, Derrel.
Absolutely. We'll talk again.
You going to the fight tomorrow?
Is there any way you can lose?
Yeah, if I don't show up. And that's the only way I can lose. And believe me, I will be there.
This is Derrel, Too Sweet Coley, 38-2, 28 knockouts, former #1 welterweight in the world, on the neutral corner with Jerry Sosa.
I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
You won't do shit.